Caring empowers families to select, manage, and stay informed about their loved one's care. We do that in 3 critical ways. First, when a family comes looking for a caregiver for their elderly loved one, they're greeted with video profiles of our caregivers. They know about their certifications, years of experience, and hear from them in their own words about how they got started. From there, we assist with staffing and scheduling, but we provide peace of mind through our connected caregiving platform. After every appointment, our caregivers use that platform to give the family an update. So whether mom has taken her medication or made it to the next doctor's appointment, families are kept in the loop. Our service is care, our product is peace of mind, and our mission is the future of elder care. We're tender caring.
Okay, so first question, what are the 3 pieces of information that you didn't share yesterday that you'd like to convey today?
Reimagining elder care. That's our mission. But what does that mean? The face of aging is changing, and 90% of seniors now mention that they want to age in place in their home. Gone are the days of nursing homes or facilities, and at Tender Caring, we're tapping into that. The market is huge. $85 billion is spent annually, and our business model is simple. We charge $20 an hour for every hour served. I wanted to emphasize that opportunity and that dynamics and why we think our experience would be well positioned. The other part I wanted to mention is you heard a little bit more about the benefits we offer families, quality, transparency, but I wanted to talk about caregivers and what we do for them. There are 3 key benefits we offer for caregivers. One is around professional reputation, the next is around continuity of cases, and the third is around compensation. When we first started recruiting caregivers, we realized how inefficient the process was. They would come with references, and you could call them or you could not. What ends up resulting is that most agencies, frankly, don't call references, but for the best caregivers, they have very little opportunity to stand out. At Tender Caring, through our profile and rating system, as long as you're working with us, you maintain a professional reputation. The next one is around continuity of cases. Whether a senior gets sicker or better, they often transition at some point, and that can be devastating on a caregiver's income. Our best caregivers have the first opportunity at new cases, and we have a smart scheduling approach that increases utilization across the board. Finally, the element that I'm proudest of is compensation, and we think it's a critical differentiator. In a traditional model, the agency takes the majority of what a caregiver would be billing for. In our model, it's reverse. Caregivers that we work with make 40% more, and so we've been able to be very selective. Only 5% of applicants make it onto our platform. So those are the elements I wanted to highlight.
Okay, great. So what's the biggest challenge you've faced thus far, and how have you overcome it?
Sure. So my background, I'm a graduate of Harvard College and Harvard Business School, and I worked at Bain. So I started Tender Caring when my grandpa got sick, and I had to spend 20 days coordinating care. And realizing I couldn't do that, I wanted a solution to keep me informed. But I focused on building a very efficient and effective solution. And at the end of the day, this is a trust business. And so we realized from a customer acquisition standpoint, we would have to transition our approach. And so we focused on becoming a thought leader in this space. And we've done it in 3 critical ways. One, I lead up a group called Aging 2.0X in New York City. It was all about innovation in the 50-plus market. I've been featured at the Bloomberg Longevity Conference, and I'll be speaking at the UN Program on Aging in November about innovation in this space.
All right, so if you win this competition, how will you use the prize money?
Yeah, so we're brand new and still bootstrapped. So $10,000 means a lot to us. This is going to be the biggest, one of the busiest times of the season, and we want to increase our capacity to respond to incoming calls. $10,000 enables me to hire an experienced intake coordinator and fuel through this heavy holiday season so that we can convert those into customers.
All right, judges, questions? Who wants to kick it off?
This is a great business. My sister is in this business. The demographics are with you because the baby boomers are getting older and everyone's getting older. They want to stay at home. So great business, growing like crazy. But the question is this, who is the buyer?
Mm-hmm. It is the child of the aging parent. So typically it's the 40 to 50-year-old woman.
So it's an individual.
Yes, it's an individual. We also work with assisted. I didn't mention that. The reason why thought leadership is important is because it empowers us to work with facilities. And so we actually are a preferred partner for one of the premier assisted living facilities in New York, and that's all because they've seen the work we've done kind of with other partners and around innovation and aging.
Just building on that, obviously a huge market. How are you going after that market?
In terms of targeting customers? Yeah, okay. So our customer acquisition, we're still testing. So again, we're kind of a couple months old, but we've done kind of offline strategies, again, working with assisted living facilities. They often have restrictions on their employees can't go out of home, so they always have home care partners to assist with escort to doctor's appointments, all of that. So again, that's kind of our B2B model. Our B2C model focuses on kind of online activities, and we also work with some lead generation partners. And so that's how we have attracted customers thus far.
I'll give you a little hint.
Yes?
Case managers at hospitals,
Yes.
they have to find a place to put the patient before they can get them out of the hospital.
Yes.
So there are case managers in hospitals that's their job.
Yes.
To find where to put these people,
Yes.
get to them. and
Discharge
then you
planners.
can-
Yes.
So two things. One is that, so I've looked at this space, and you have a fellow HBS grad who has the leading company in it, Care.com, which is at scale.
Yep.
And they're doing really well.
Yep,
So
yep.
this is a marketplace business. There are network effects, so I'm not understanding how an upstart would come in, especially since they're at scale.
Yes.
Second thing is looking at things like Urban Sitter, et cetera. They've moved away from a percentage of revenue model or a fee and just providing introductory fee because they're going to go around the system
Yeah.
pretty quickly, the provider. So could you address both those points?
Yeah, so, okay, so let me focus with the disintermediation effect first. So one, it's around kind of caregiver compensation. So again, our caregivers are paid pretty well. The other mitigating factors are around insurance and bonding. And then finally, for families, there's all of this coordination if a caregiver doesn't show up. So this isn't around, I find a great babysitter and I need her in 2 hours, and if she doesn't show up, I'm there, and then I go to my, I won't go to my concert. This is, my mom lives in Florida, I'm in New York. If someone doesn't show up, are there backup services, right? So disintermediation hasn't been a major effect in this market. The other one is around Care.com, and ours is all about kind of focus and then the execution and support. So if you're looking for a cost provider, Care.com might be a better solution, but from a quality standpoint and having those backup services, we believe we're very different.
They rate everyone too, so they have people that are high quality.
Yeah, but they don't manage kind of staffing and scheduling. So it's literally, so here's the thing, right? I was working at Bain and had to take 20 days off because my grandfather was in intensive care for 20 days, right? If you do Care.com, you might be able to find someone great and work with them, but if they have to go to their kid's appointment or they have to go for a doctor, you're still looking for someone. At TenderCare, we are your partner in care. So you find your primary caregiver, but whether you need a backup service or that person, again, has to transition for a facility, we provide that kind of comprehensive solution for families.
All right. Who's got another question? We got a little time left.
You said the caregivers get paid well. How well? You charge $20, so how much do they get paid?
So they typically make around $12 an hour.
Okay.
That's great margin. $8 an hour for thousands of people. It's great margin.
And again, they're making 40% more, so they're very excited about that. Yeah.
So you're at the point now where it's early, you're pulling from some of these different networks for your caregivers. What's the challenge in scaling that part of it up?
So caregivers haven't been an issue for us. We've attracted kind of hundreds of caregivers in terms of our database. We vet very kind of aggressively, and so vetting is, I think, our secret sauce in terms of the caregivers that we choose to want to work with, but sourcing caregivers has not been an issue for us.
How do you cover when somebody cancels?
A
A
family member-
caregiver is supposed to be there at 6 o'clock and they don't show up.
And so the backup approach is that your best caregivers you can have them on standby. And so that's basically how you would provide coverage.
All right. Any other questions? Don's got something.
Who gives the feedback on the quality of
The family.
care? But the family's not there, only the patient
Yeah,
is there.
that's important for a few reasons. Some of our patients are unable or inconsistent in the feedback they would have. So if you have a diabetic patient and they don't get their chocolate today, they might rate a caregiver kind of unfairly. What the family can update on is we have a standard set of questions. We want to know if it's on time, if it's consistent with your expectations. So did you know that mom's going to a doctor, and did you get an update in that regard? And is there anything from when you talk to mom that seems inconsistent? That has been, that's the feedback loop and how we structured it, and it's been pretty successful thus far.
And the caregiver giving feedback to the family, how do they do that?
So the caregiver, when they're in the field, they use our application to kind of fill out a typical survey, and that's how they feed it to the family.